Hi, I am here with Sean Smith. He is a fellow magician out in located in Arizona.
Yep.
Not Phoenix though.
Nah, I live in Apache Junction, Arizona.
Okay, very cool. All right, now, and you are considered an essential worker right now, and you're pretty much on the front lines. Do you mind telling us what you do or what you're doing right now?
Well, right now I have a job at a Sprouts as a retail worker in the meat department, and we handle all different kinds of meats, and it's been crazy lately. We order probably about 8 pages worth of stuff, and we only get two, just because of how low our supplies are at the suppliers, and morale is a bit on the edge there, just because of what we have and what we don't have.
So what about safety wise? Do you have everything you need? Gloves, mask, hand sanitizer?
We're wearing we're all wearing masks. Some people have their own custom mask or a bandana to cover their face and nose. I have my own mask. So I don't think I have mine on me. But we also wear gloves when we're handling foods and other stuff. Most of everyone follows them really well. Most of the customers there follow the 6 feet rule, which is really helpful. Makes things a little easier.
Yeah.
Only thing we've had to deal with so far is just some interesting people thinking it's funny to act sick. Just, yeah, we had two people do that in the last 2 months, pretend they're sick to cause people to freak out. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. And how did you guys respond when that happened?
One we've only had 3 cases of sick people, two real where they were actually sick with coronavirus. And then one person is obviously faking it to get attention. Some people had to go home for about 4 days. My boss, he actually went home for 14 days just in case. And luckily, I was in the back most of the time when we had that happen, so I never was exposed or anything. But I'm pretty much exposed a lot between this and my dad because he's a fireman, so he's on the front lines.
Oh wow. Yeah. How often do you see your dad right now?
I go from a week to a week with my houses 'cause my family's separated, so I usually spend a week there and a week here. And most of the time he's at work, and sometimes I see him when he gets off work and when I get off work because I close a lot at my work.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
Now?
I think it happened like in the very beginning of March, if I remember correctly. Because I remember I was trying to get a job after Costco, didn't keep me. I found a job at Sprouts. I worked there for maybe about a week before this whole thing hit. And we were like out of product for straight 2 weeks. We just didn't do anything but clean. That's how low we were and everything. Yeah, it affected my mom. Yeah, it affected my mom, my stepmom, and my uncle primarily. My uncle's a mechanic. My stepmom's a nurse at a school, and my mom, she does antiquing, so she goes to people's places and looks at stuff to buy and sell. Obviously, she can't do that no more without doing risk.
Right.
So they've all been pretty hard. Unfortunately, my family's has, I guess, essential jobs. So we've been very fortunate. 'Cause I only got into magic my beginning of my senior year of high school. Well, I got back into it because I was obsessed with magic when I was like 8 or 9 when Chris Angel was super popular. And then it just kind of stopped because school classmates and friends said that's stupid, it's all fake, and then I was just like, oh, okay. But
Yeah.
then I just got back and enjoyed it.
So you started with you saw Chris Angel. Was there any effect that he did that just like blew your mind? You're like, holy cow, I need to learn this or
I remember the main thing I wanted to learn when I watched Chris Angel for the first time was his little levitation thing. I was like, how did I do that? I had the DVD, could never do it. I don't know why, I just could never do it after watching the DVD so many times. I think I still have it somewhere. I might actually have do I have it? I do. I have like 2 cards of the old Chris Angel deck in my drawer.
oh cool.
I don't even know where the rest of it is.
So okay,
Yeah,
so you've been doing magic on and off, and well, you graduated from high school last year or 2 years ago.
last year.
Okay, so you're class of 2019. Okay. Oh wow, so you've been. I don't want to say how old I am. I'm 78, but so you've been doing magic on and off for the past like 10 years then.
Yeah, I did a little bit. I watched a magic video here. I tried to learn a magic trick there. Wasn't really good at it just because I didn't have a focus. Because I guess as a kid, I just never had true focus. I was always a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, trying to figure out what I like.
Yeah. Well,
I
sounds
think
like.
senior year, like, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, what did you say? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I guess when you're a kid, you don't have your focus is one thing. It's either you're really, really focused on one, or your focus just split. You know.
Yeah.
And I guess I finally have my senior year because I feel like that was my best year of high school. I guess I could say because I kind of found my place. I was known as the magic guy at my school after learning a lot of stuff.
Cool. So
It was fun.
it sounds like you fell out of it and then you got back into it. What was do you like was there a specific moment that you're like, I'm gonna start doing this again?
Yeah, yes, it's actually pretty funny. After football games, sometimes the football players go to like a little restaurant, to celebrate or eat food because we lost the game, depressed and whatnot. But we went to bars one time. It was me, my quarterback, a couple of receivers, and a lot of cheerleaders that were going to this Bar's Pizza. We go to the Bar's Pizza. Gibby accidentally brings his deck of cards. He's like, you know what? Sure. He just broke up his girlfriend, so he decided to do a flirting trick with a deck of cards. And he did a card trick, and he wowed all the cheerleaders and freaking they're like, "Oh my God, Gibby, how did you do that?" And they're all just giving him attention. I'm sitting here eating my pizza. Just this is what I can get with cards. And then that was the initial thing. And then I think I went to Walmart, bought a deck of cards, went on YouTube, found a couple card tricks, learned them, thought they were cool, put them away for like a week, and then I don't know, I just started watching more videos and started liking it better than just the typical pickup chicks. I just like doing it because I like giving people the enjoyment.
Yeah. Very
Yeah,
cool. So it sounds like you're motivated just to give people a break from reality and let them have fun.
good time, give them a good time, give them a good laugh, give them experience. So I like it about magic. It's one of the reasons I enjoy it. It's a good experience.
Very cool. So I see you have cards. Would you like to share or show something? Or I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot if you don't want to.
Well, I'd love to show you something. This is a new deck. I got it at Magic Live actually. I just haven't opened it yet. It's the Peacock deck.
Ooh. Was it in the bicycle vending machine?
Yeah. I think it was. It's these
Ooh, nice.
really nice feel because I was going to use my other cards, but they were a little rough, as in they will not spread at all. So let's see. Trying to think. All right, you ready?
Yes.
When I go through the cards like this, just tell me when to stop, and if you
Step.
see anything,
Oh,
oh, you're good. Ready?
step.
Oh, right there.
Right there.
All right, remember that card. You got it.
Yep.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Let's see. Let me guess right about there. Give it a couple. This. So your card's somewhere in the middle. I don't know where. It could be anywhere. So let's see if I can get this. It's a little. Let's see, it's a spring. Nope, these cards are not spring. Let's try this. Let's see. Let's go through the cards and there we go. Got one.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah.
That was really good. And I can see how well you spread the fan and do your cuts and everything. Are you also more of a cardistry guy by any chance, or?
I Cardistry is really hard for me. The only cardistry I know is the one-handed stuff. like just the other day, I finally figured out how to get the revolution cut down, and I'm working on the triple cut with one-handed. I like the one-handed stuff because I feel like if I do the two-handed, I'll be lost, and I'll be like, well, looks like I'm about to pick up some cards, you know? Yeah.
So,
I just
pre-quarantine, how often were you performing magic?
uh, if it was just showing tricks off, I would say every day. But if it's like performing like little shows and whatnot, I would say probably once a month because I'm just doing house parties. Because all I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to learn all the different, just trying to soak everything in, you know,
Yeah.
trying to figure out what works best, what doesn't work, you know. I just been like usually I either go to my stepbrother's party, one of my friends having like a big event, I'll go there and I'll show off some magic tricks for like 20, 30 minutes, and then they'll be just talking about it for like the rest of the night or something, which I really makes me feel good when I hear some people just talking about it afterwards. I'm like, I had that effect. It's awesome.
Oh, cool. And how often, you mentioned something earlier, performing magic on Zoom. How often are you doing magic on Zoom these days?
Uh, I usually do stuff like some self-working stuff. And there was this one trick I read in this book. I don't think I have it on me at the moment. I think it's in my car. It's a really cool magic book I bought at Magic Light. I thought it looked cool. I thought it had cool different effects, and apparently I guess it was rare according to my other buddy. So I read this cool trick. It's an estimation trick. With the card, they look at a card, they separate it into like a certain number of piles. They find their card in one pile, and then you tell them the deal. And you tell them this, and you stop at any time. I think no, you tell them to stop, and then when they stop, it's their card that they did, and they don't know the location. You don't know the location apparently. And that trick is really really hard, but if you get it down, it's really mind blowing. It's
Yeah.
really cool. And then I do some gimmick tricks to one of my friends in uh, where is she from? Texas. She she kind of flipped out when I did this trick. Do you remember this trick?
Was it on your Instagram?
And it's just a card box with a cutout, and you just all you do, if I remember correctly. See, you don't put it in this way, obviously. So you got to put it in this way, and then all you gotta do, since I'm a big guy, I can just go, and then cards are gone.
That
I
looks
do like
that looks so nice.
I usually add that instead of just like, oh, the card deck's gone. I like to do that because I'm a big guy. I can hide it under my rolls. Oh, here it is. Pull it out,
Ah.
Or even I always keep a spare card in my hat. Oh, hey, look, you don't see the empty pocket? And then you pull one out.
Oh. Wow, that's cool. That was a nice that's a nice routine there.
Yeah, thank you. I've
Yeah.
been working on different ideas, trying to figure out which one works. But right now, so far, it's just a mix of different stuff I wouldn't say written down. I guess it's more bullet points because I don't usually like to write stuff down. But if I do, it's like little bullet point that sends me like, okay, this means all this stuff right here. Like it'd be just like one word, and then I'll be like, oh, I know what this means, and then I'm gonna do a whole routine after that.
Okay. So that's part of like just jotting down single words as part of your like
Yeah,
process.
yeah. Heck, I could probably have like a list of words like on my suitcase, and look at it real quick, like, okay, that's what I'm doing next. Instead of just looking at a script, you know. So I'd be like, okay, next thing, next part.
Very cool. And you mentioned too earlier that you're kind of, it's been about a year since high school that you're kind of still developing your like sense of self in the magic world, I guess is a way of describing it. Uh, do you have any mentors or people that you look up to in the magic world that help you figure out your, your character, your development, or?
Um, there was a couple YouTubers I watched. One of them who helped me with my sleight of hand a lot was Chris Ramsey and Daniel Madison. Those two really helped me with my sleight of hand stuff. But just performing in general, having that good like entertainment or a good vibe around people was Wes Barker. He's a comedy magician, and I just loved his act. He just gives everyone a good time. He may not be the ultimate sleight of hand artist, but he gives people a good time, which I like. You know?
Yeah, it sounds like you're receiving your technical skills from Chris Ramsey, and then your performance abilities kind of from Wes Parker. Was that who you said?
Yeah, Wes Barker. He's a really cool guy. He's super funny. Does mostly comedy magic, and then he has quite a bit of mind blowing tricks I've never seen. Like he did this one. I'm pretty sure it's just a different version of a trick. I don't remember the name. Someone signs a card, they lose it in the deck. He places them one by one on like a sticky pad, like a big old sticky pad. And he has a Nerf gun. It's like a with a point at the end of it. You put like a tack through it, and he shoots their card, blindfolded, obviously. I thought that was really cool. I'm like, they shuffled, they did all that. What the hell are you trying to do here?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to YouTube that video later. I haven't heard of that. Thank you for sharing that with me.
He has this big video on YouTube. It's an hour-long show he posts on YouTube called The Great Ish Magic Show.
Ooh.
He's really, really funny. I just loved his acts. Just it's like he only has a few tricks, but he makes it last until an hour-long show, which blew my mind. I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
because I have a lot of tricks and a lot of my magic feels like it's just quick. And I'm trying to figure out how to make it last longer, to make it last, I guess.
I hear ya.
Some people I've seen, they do stories with their tricks. They tell a story with it. Others do it with like jokes behind it, like a joke trick or something like that. Like it could be a great pickpocketing trick about some great pickpocket in like the Middle East or something. Or it could be there was this one guy who always got caught by the cops, the worst pickpocket. But that type of stuff. The stories.
Yeah.
Stories are good at making up, but trying to implement them into a trick is another thing. Because I write stories on the side when I'm not doing magic. Many ideas I've had. Because I'm a big, I guess y'all call it nerd on many different things. Like had this idea for a ring trick. You've seen on the Lord of the Rings?
Don't want to confirm or deny about watching Lord of the Rings.
Well, there's this thing called Ring of Power. It's a ring that drives people for power. It's the one ring to rule them all. If you have it, it controls you, and you can control it if it bonds with you, quote unquote. And there's a cool trick where it's on a necklace. It's on a necklace, right? You put it on someone else, and like this ring has such a good bond, I can make it come to me, and you just like lift your hand, try and pull it towards you, and then it just looks like it's trying to go right back towards you, and it's an idea I had.
Ooh, that's good. That's very visual too. What kind
Then there
of
was
setting would you want to do that in? Like a stage parlor setting or close up like street strolling?
probably a little bit of both, because if you're just sitting in the back, you're just kind of not paying attention, because that's what happened in magic shows sometimes. When I've seen a couple people just kind of be bored and not listening to the pattern.
Yeah.
And then once they see the effect, they're like, what? I felt like that'd be a cool effect. It's like, oh, there's no way he's gonna lift the ring, and then it goes up.
Yeah.
There was another effect that I saw, which I think could be like a brainwave deck type thing with zombies. Like you have like an ordinary healthy cards, but if you infect one, you see it turns into like a zombie. When if you do it again, you see more and more cards turn into zombies, and eventually the whole deck just becomes zombie cards, even though a minute ago you just saw there were healthy human cards.
Ooh, I like that idea. I'm not gonna take it, but I just mean like that's a good idea, and it gives me insight to like how creative you are. Like that's pretty. Sean, you should jump on that one. So especially now since everybody's bored and at home, like I could
I'm
see
just
that
trying.
being a YouTube hit.
I have an idea how I could do the ring one, but the zombie one's it'd be a little bit difficult. I have like maybe a couple ways I could do it, one way would be really easy, another way would be a little difficult. But which one's more convincing?
Right. And with a story like that, and it's a story, I mean, The Walking Dead is huge. Everybody kind of thinks to like, what would you do in the zombie apocalypse? Like, I feel like that's a magic trick that would be relatable to a lot of viewers.
Yeah. I think that'd be a really good one. That one. Then there's one of my friends. I showed him this magic trick a long time ago. It was a time traveling trick where his car, like this car turns into a new car, then changes back to his car. And it gave me an idea for a cool time traveling effect. The torn and restored car trick
Hmm.
type thing. I was thinking something like that, but with time travel. Where you can clearly see it happens in his hands. Where it's like, all right, you hold the deck, you hold the card in your hand. It's like, okay. He folds it. It's like the four corner thing.
Hmm.
Then he tears it as I watch. Closes his hands, and then it comes back into the four corners. It's an idea I had where time travels in his hand, but when you time travel, nothing's truly as it is, and you see the actual tear still there. It's like an idea I had.
Very cool.
And I'm just
I'm super impressed, like right now, because you have all these ideas, and I can tell. Well, when we met at Magic Live, I could tell like you're a hard worker. And also too, I just want to compliment you because I know you're out of high school and you're young, not trying to downplay age or anything like that. But I
Mhm.
appreciate how you're not cocky about this and you're kind of humble about magic, if that makes sense.
Magic Live kind of opened my eyes a bit. I admit I was a little bit cocky when I first started it. But when I went to Magic Live and saw how much I still have to learn, it just opened up my eyes. Like I've seen a couple of your tricks. I was like mind blown with some of your tricks with your. It's like that one trick that kind of just made me go, "I'm sorry, what now?" Was your during the intermission for the Vanishing Ink live stream? You were just going like that. And I'm like, I can barely do one. How is she doing all these? you
Oh,
know?
oh, I love card manipulation. So, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Every time I see you do one of those, I'm like, I'm jealous. I can't even get this one card to go all the way. Put it back there, but there's always just one corner just saying, hi, hi, you can see me.
Anyways, no, but I like your self-awareness too. Like, of course, everybody, you're human. We're gonna get a little bit cocky and arrogant at some point, especially since if you don't know what else is out there. And then I like though that you took the experience and then instead of like being puff chested and comparing yourself to others, you're just like, I'm gonna take a step back and better magic, like better myself, better the magic. So I appreciate that. Like this is refreshing for me. So
Yeah.
but
But yeah,
in thinking about developing stuff, do you have a certain group of friends that you work on your magic with or brainstorm with?
sadly, no. Almost everyone that I know in Magic's all in different states. There was one guy, Adrian Victor, I tried talking to because he wanted me to go down to Phoenix and go to like the ASU Magicians Club, but he hadn't texted me back at all. I don't know, but most of the time, most of the stuff has just been me and what I've seen on like social media that gives me ideas. Like I watch a routine on social media, be like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can reverse engineer it and see if I can do it my own way. And I figure it out, or at least I think I figure it out, and I try to do it. Like the other day, I saw a trick on a Vanishing. You've heard of Super Play It Straight?
No. And I love
It,
Vanishing Ink. I'm surprised I missed this.
it was a really cool effect. I haven't bought this effect. I know the original effect, but this is a gimmick effect. But the original effect is like a triumph routine. It starts off as a regular triumph routine, but here's the thing: people select two cards. You take one of the deck, you do your normal triumph routine. You spread the deck, and your two cards. You're like, oh wait, I forgot about your card. I got your card. Let's get his, but without touching it. You shuffle the deck, crazy and all that. and like you see the spectator sees all the cards all mixed up apparently, and then he's like, "Watch, I'll snap my fingers. The card's going to tell me exactly what your card is." You spread the deck, in ace through king order, all the cards are face up in their suit, but one card's missing. Their card. I remember I saw that effect at Magic Live. I don't remember the dude's name. He was hanging out with me, Lindsay, and my cousin at the bar, and he was showing these tricks to his bartender. And he said he was going to teach it to me, but I think he got a little too drunk where he completely forgot.
Oh, magic.
Tried- yeah, I tried to find the effect online, but I could never do it or never find it. And the other day I was just scrolling on it and I recognized the name. I was like, I watched it. I did the original effect, and now I'm gonna buy probably $150 worth of stuff on Vanishing Ink just because there's so much good stuff on there. And it's gonna hurt me, but I want to learn more, and I want to read the book on Mnemonica by One Time Reese. And I'm buying that because I want to learn the memorizing and all this other stuff that's in it. You know?
Yes. It's Mnemonica. That's an investment. You will not regret that purchase at all.
I know. I saw when I saw the price of that book, I'm like, damn, this must be a really good book. Then I read the reviews on it, and I looked up tricks that people performed from it, and blew my mind. Like Chris Ramsey, he did an effect from it. He had card in hand, handed the cards to the spectators. Name any card. He's like, ace of spades. Name a number between 6 and 9. 7. Deal 7 cards face down. 7th card's the ace of spades. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? That's just crazy. All this stuff.
And when you audiences, it sounds like you're more of a close-up guy. And do you prefer a close-up and just being intimate with a small group, or would you prefer a parlor and a bigger stage?
I don't mind either or. I've done both. Most of the time, when I did a coffee house for my school, which was a big fundraiser for the school. Not many people showed up because no one cared about our school, so it was like maybe 10, 20 people there.
Yeah.
And it was a big talent show of all the kids, showing off their talents and all this stuff. And then I'm the one magic guy there. And what I did was I usually bring up like 1 or 2 people from the audience, and I would just, make sure the other audience trusts me. It's like, all right, I want you to trust me. I'll let they do that, and you can watch me and make sure I don't cheat. Like sometimes when the spectators shuffling cards, I'll go sit down next to like an old lady and say, "How you doing?" Just chatting with her while they shuffle, get them all involved.
Yeah. I like that. So you can be interchangeable. So your magic career could literally take you anywhere in the future because you're close up and you can handle parlor and stage as well.
I'll just have to change a couple of things to make it. Just close up, I can do it pretty easily. Parlor, I'll just have to change a different few ways on how to do it.
I hope in the future, if you still want to come out to St. Louis for Magic in the Lou, sorry, you canceled your show. So
Well, that's completely fine. Believe me, I was bummed out too. Yeah, this last weekend, I was like, I was supposed to be in St. Louis. I was like, damn.
it was this weekend.
Hmm. I was at work and my boss was like, isn't today the day you're supposed to be in St. Louis? I'm like, I know, don't remind me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I think
A little bit coworkers, they really enjoy my magic. I try to do magic while I'm at work for some of the customers, but it's a little difficult. So I try to do social distancing magic. Like I work at a meat counter. You ever been to like the counters at like retail stores?
mm-hmm.
Where they have, yeah. So I did this sponge ball trick where it's like it goes through glass, that type of thing. You place it in one hand, you throw it, and you catch it in the other hand, going through the glass seemingly. I usually do that for like the little kids that come by who can get samples. And most of the time, they just look at me like, "What?" That's it. There's no mind blown. It's just all the kids just look at me weird.
And you've been putting in extra overtime, right?
Yeah, been working 40 plus, and one of our guys quit the other day. So a lot more has come. I close occasionally. I think I close twice a week. Yeah, I close twice a week, and it's been crazy because we usually start cleaning. Well, I start cleaning like around 5, so I have plenty of time to do everything. But the other day, I had to clean at like I had like 1 hour before I had to close everything, and I was like, Jesus, I'm not gonna get this all clean in time. And I didn't leave till like 9, and our store closes at 8.
Yeah.
It was just it's been crazy the last couple of days working there.
So your free time is very limited. Just it sounds like you wake up, you go to work, you come back.
Pretty much, and it's like, I can either get a good night's sleep or an okay sleep. Most of the time, it's been an okay sleep, so I can just practice or play a game with my friend.
Yeah. I wish too bad we weren't like aren't closer to each other. I think it'd be a lot of fun to jam and like pick each other's brains and everything.
It'd be fun. Even just doing this and talking about magic would be awesome. Should do
Yeah.
it more often.
Yeah, I agree. How would you feel if I invited other magicians along and tried doing a Zoom meeting? Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, I'll be fine with that.
Okay.
I don't
Uh,
know. This quarantine hasn't been too rough on me specifically, just because I've had a job, I've been working a lot. The only thing is, I've worked a lot more than I would probably usually do, and been not on social media as much because I've been trying to figure out, okay, what magic video should I post or something like that.
yeah.
Every time I do, I just never have the time. And when I try to make time, I usually am just half asleep or really tired or my hands shake or I burn my fingers freaking on a hot plate at work.
Ouch.
Ooh, I forgot. This came in today. The Phoenix.
Phoenix playing cards.
Phoenix, yeah.
Ooh,
Two
nice
of
touch.
them. Yeah, I have a. You ever see my deck collection on my Instagram?
I believe so. You have a
Yeah.
nice one.
Yeah, it's in the whole ammo box. I remember that was part of one of my routines in the coffee house. I would have a suitcase inside a suitcase and a box inside a box, and that would be the last thing that comes out would be the ammo case. My friends, they bought me a big suitcase that turns to like a platform to perform on, which I thought was really cool. They got me that for Christmas,
Aw. Oh, that's
and
really nice. Mm-hmm.
I didn't get that until last month, just because of well, they were kind of short on money, so they said they'll get it to me once they get the returns. I told them, which was totally fine.
Yeah.
That's really dope.
Oh,
I keep a lot of magic stuff in my car just in case something were, like, hey, do you think you can get ready? I'm already ready. Just let me go grab a deck. um, what do you usually carry on your person? Like, if you're just out and about, what magic stuff do you usually carry on your person,
uh,
just in case you that happen to use it?
just a deck of playing cards in a card case. I never had a card case. I was like, I don't need one. And then after breaking so many boxes open, I'm like, a card case is a good investment. I love my card
Yeah,
cases.
yeah, my aunt gave me a card case. It's a really cool one.
Ooh,
Yeah,
it's a leather
so,
one, right?
yeah, it's really cool. My aunt got that for me.
That's a nice. She did very nice on that.
Yeah, and it's really cool sometimes because I can always put my sponge balls in there. People expect deck cards. Nah, sponge. My favorite trick to do at work because I wear a red apron, and I'm like, this is too much red, and I just rub. Oh, there's one. I'll keep that for later. My favorite thing to do to my coworker, Hani. He's just mind blown by every little thing.
So it sounds like your coworkers, they're pretty much your test audience for new effects that
Uh,
you're working on, or
my test people is my family, and
okay.
here's the thing: your family can be the harshest critics. Because when I first started doing it, my stepmom and dad told me I just flat out suck at it first. But that was like the first couple weeks when I started doing, which was understandable, hurtful. But and then after a while, keep on practicing, keep on practicing, keep on practicing. I fold them, and now I just do a lot of tricks. And my stepmom's always the one that's always like suspicious about everything I do. So there's a lot of things I can't do in front of her because she's too suspicious.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work around her because she's a heckler. She wants to figure out how everything's done. My dad respects if he sees something that he knows or sees something that he saw, he won't say anything. He says that was cool, but I saw something, but I'm not gonna say anything. Then my mom, my grandmother, they don't suspect anything. They like to enjoy it. And then my stepdad likes to think of the method because he's an engineer. He likes the methods more than the trick.
Isn't that interesting how everybody is attracted to magic for different reasons? Like
Mhm.
some people, like you just said, wants to know how the effect is. Some people just like being floored and fooled and like, let's have fun. It's I believe it's real. It's just so interesting, like how different personalities and how magic like reflects that too. I hope I worded that somewhat decently to get my point through.
Mhm. I understand, yeah.
What's your perspective going into a magic convention?
Um, I've only been to the one so far, the one Magic Live.
Oh, okay.
So when I first went, I wanted to see what was there, like what are all these different effects that I could see, like and all that. I like being fooled, and sometimes when I see something I really like, I want to know how it's done. Sometimes I'm really close from watching people, and I'm like, it's just so good, so good. Like I remember first time watching a Ryan Hayashi. You know that magician?
Oh, yes. If I'm thinking, he's the coin matrix guy, right?
Yeah, he was the one that got me into coins for a little bit because I tried a whole 2 months straight of just trying to do coin matrix stuff, and I figured out how to do the basic coin matrix. And after figuring out how to do the regular coin matrix, I watched his routine again, and I'm like, I still don't know how you do that. This is pissing me off. After a while, I saw he did some. Here's the thing, I see something, but I don't know what that something is. That's why I like Ryan so much. I see something, but you can't tell what he's doing. Which I loved about it.
He does a lot with coins. Do you do any coin work or?
I've been trying to do coins. The only coin stuff I really know how to do is just the scotch and soda stuff. Then like one coin matrix. There's one coin trick I'm trying to do with an appearing silver dollar. But here's the thing: the silver dollar is way bigger than the Morgan dollar, so it's a little difficult to hide. Because I either practice with quarters, a gold dollar, or a silver dollar. And I'm just really tempted just to order a couple Morgan dollars off of Amazon just to be able to practice it.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm trying to do is the why can't I remember the name of it? Muscle pass, where the coin just goes from here to here.
Hmm.
I've been trying for like a whole month straight of just a poker chip. I can't even get it to leave my hand. It's really, really hard.
Man, the muscle pass that takes a while to develop too. Like,
Ooh.
so good for you for still trying after a month. I gave up. So,
I remember for a while I gave up on on the Pharaoh shuffle. And here's the thing: for some reason, anytime I go back to something I give up, somehow I just figure it out on the spot. That happened with me when launching a card. I tried that for a whole 3 weeks, couldn't figure it out. Messing around with my cards before class, I accidentally do it. I just kept on doing it and doing it, and I got that down. Same thing with the Pharaoh. I could not.
what's your favorite trick that you've learned during quarantine? Not on the list, but just popped my head.
Oh, trick or quarantine.
Or magic
Uh,
effect. I don't know how people feel about the word trick.
there was this thing I saw at Magic Live. Adrian Victor, he showed it to me. It was a cool version of like a shapeshifter change. And I can never get it right. I always messed up. And I wonder if I can get it. Let's see if I remember how to do it. Usually you just do it by holding it across right there, but see if I can do it like this. Just give it a shake, and then
That looks
change.
good.
It's a really cool effect I saw. I'm like, whoa, that's really cool. And then I always messed up. So I loved about them. See, you got female to male, all that stuff. It's a really cool thing I learned when I finally figured out how to do correctly. So a lot of it is like I know how it's done, I just can't do it correctly for like a whole month.
Yeah. I'm impressed. That looked really smooth. So, all right. Well, I'll probably send you a message later tonight too. So, all right. I'll close if I can figure out Zoom. Zoom's new to me. So I think I'm going to log off here in a second.
It was a bit new to me as well. It took me a minute to figure out how to get the audio to work.
Oh, no joke.
I was like, I can't hear you. Oh no.
All right. Here you go. Well, have a good rest of your day.
Yep, you too.
All right. Bye,
I
Sean.
hope. Bye.